Hey y'all, welcome back to At the Table podcast, the virtual table where we talk about all things young adulting. My name is Fikayo and thank you so much for having me back in your ears. Hi you guys. I don't know. Let me update you on the time. So right now it's about 5:30 a.m. the day after Martin Luther King's birthday. It has snowed a ton. So my boss told us that we can come in a little later. And I woke up because, well, frankly, I'm sick. And I feel like I'm always sick. I have been sick for about a month straight, so I don't know what is going on, but I'm sick and I couldn't breathe, so I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I have to wake up at around 5 a.m. anyway, so I've just kind of been up. And I was supposed to have a podcast out on Friday, but Friday was like my worst feeling day yet. So I wasn't able to record, I wasn't able to edit, I wasn't able to do anything. And I have podcast episodes that I know I want to get done. And also I have an interview that I know I want to push out as soon as possible, but I'm just not up to it. I have been a couch potato. But yeah, this podcast, I don't know, while I was just laying here, I was just thinking, and I was just wondering, why do I push myself so hard? And I think these questions are important to ask yourself when you see yourself doing something. I think it's important to sit back and reflect. And I figure I'm supposed to have a podcast out anyway. This podcast will just be a stream of thinking. I can do it, I can sit down and I can reflect here on this podcast because like initially, even when I created this podcast, sorry, I'm sick. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I'm back. All right. So even when I created this podcast, I initially created it so that I would be able to come back here and reflect. And it's like soft therapy, right? Being able to talk things out, being able to undo those knots in my head. Yeah, so let's start with our segments and then we can go into our conversation, shall we? Okay. So, what have I been snacking on lately? Honestly, oh my God, I hate when this happens. Okay. Lately, honestly, I have been snacking on, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. My body aches. I don't have COVID. I literally just took a test. I do not have COVID, so I think it's just the cold or a flu. I'm unsure, but I'm just tired. And what have I been praying for? I've been praying for healing because I'm so over this. All right. Now it's time to get into our conversation. And I don't know, I was watching a YouTube video and the guy, his podcast, well, it's a YouTube podcast type of situation. And I just loved what he talked about. And I loved the amount of reflection that happened on his podcast. And I miss doing that. Like, I miss just being able to come to this podcast, not necessarily having a script, not having the words, not even knowing what I'm really going to say, and just saying, just talking, just being. And you guys get to hear that. And you guys get to hear my thought process too. And he was talking about the 75 hard. And I figure my schedule is about to change drastically because of school. So my schedule is about to really, really look different. So I was like, why don't I put stuff into my schedule, and like make my own version of 75 hard. So I already plan on going to the gym every day. After going to the gym, running a mile for my cardio, doing this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third. And I was just laying here. I was like, why? Like, why do I do this to myself? Like, and it's not necessarily that it's fun. It's not even necessarily that I enjoy this, but I'm constantly trying to outwork myself. I'm constantly trying to outdo myself. When I get rest, I feel guilty. And I'm not even necessarily sure how I rationalize it in my head and how it necessarily, like, I don't know. Like, I understand the depths and I understand what laziness can do. And it scares literally the shit out of me. My laziness specifically, I understand what my laziness can do and it scares the shit out of me. And as someone who grew up and I was constantly told that I was lazy, I find that in my adult life, one of the biggest things that I am constantly working against is that label. And it's like a ghost, right? That is constantly hovering over me. No one else can see it except for me. I can barely even see it really. I can just feel its presence behind me. And anytime it gets too close, it's like, no, no, no. I need to run faster. I need to do more. I need to put more on my schedule. And it's always been like this, even through college. Like, I was the one taking 6 classes instead of 4. I was the one working full time and also taking 18 credit hours. Like, I was that person. Why? Because I was just constantly running away from that label of being told I'm lazy. And more often than not, because of my constant running from that label, it's been to my detriment more than anything. And it really sucks. It really, really, really sucks. It really, really sucks. And I don't know how to explain it. But sometimes it feels like there's like a fire happening behind me. And if I slow down, then the fire is going to engulf me. That name, that title is going to engulf me. And sometimes I think it's seen as a strength, that I'm able to push myself to these lengths. But no, it isn't. It isn't because I'm constantly running, or I constantly have to feel like I'm running. And it's crazy because it's me running from something that didn't have to be there. It's me running from something that doesn't exist. But because in my mind, I've already allowed it to become something and be a thing and be an identity. And it's something that is constantly, even still now, constantly said and repeated through my life. It's something that I'm constantly running from. And it's hard when people say they I'm their role model, or that they that they want to live whatever life I'm living or whatever. But it's like, no. No, you don't. Now, don't get me wrong. I have come to love everything that I do. And I've been through so much, pardon my French, bullshit, to the point where like, now it's like, if I'm going to run so fast, I might as well enjoy what I'm running into, right? But, I've been through like things where like I'll run fast and I don't enjoy what I'm doing. So then eventually I'll get tired, or eventually I'll stop running, and then I'll disappoint everyone. And then it's not even bits the question of like, wow, she's lazy. It's she's incompetent. But now I'm older, of course, and I know myself better. And I'm able to better not do things that I don't want to do. So everything I do now, I really enjoy, but I will take it to like the 10th degree. Yeah, this person is doing this. Yeah, I have to do this, and that. Just to be able to prove that no, I'm not lazy. Also, I've also had some really defining moments in the last 2 years that I've never talked about. And one day I will. One day I will. I'm just not far enough from it. That really put my ass on fire. Like really, really bad. Because it was just really scary. Like at a point life got really, really scary for me. And only a very few amount of people know like what the issue, circumstance, situation was. Very, very few amount. Like my bestest friends, because that's what they're there for, right? But yeah, it really lit a torch under my butt. And it just made me realize how scary life can get sometimes if you're not serious. And it's interesting. I'm not sure if the way I see it is a true way of seeing it or it's from my vantage point. And by vantage point, I mean, like, is it because I'm younger and I'm looking up and I'm like, oh shit, like the mountain is so high? Or like, am I being honest? Like, or is there not honest, but like, is it true? Like my fear of how scary life can get, like, is it true? Or is there some part of like fact and non-fact, right? Like, is there some part of like, yeah, life is actually really scary, but yeah, you should actually probably enjoy yourself at this time, Fikayo. Like, not only just work so hard, not only push yourself to the brim every day, but like enjoy yourself, hang out with friends and stuff. And I think it's the latter. I think it's definitely just what I said for sure. And it's something that I try to implement in my life, like enjoying myself genuinely. And trust me, I do. I really do enjoy the life that I live. But it's honestly because a lot of my enjoyment doesn't come from physical enjoyment, it comes from mental peace. Because there have been times where I have been with friends and we've been having a phenomenal, great time, right? But because of where I know that my life is standing, I'm in this perpetual state of fear constantly, scared all the time. So yeah, we were having fun and we were enjoying ourselves. But because I wasn't where I felt like I needed to be in life, like I was just constantly scared. And then, like, there could be times where, well, now I have a little bit more peace. So, because, like, we go out and it's a horrible night and blah, 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 I'm generally able to be optimistic because I'm not scared for my life anymore. Like I'm okay. So I find that a lot of my happiness comes from my mental well-being. And I'm big on that. I'm heavy on that. But I'm not sure if it's healthy. Like the amount of which it does take up is a healthy amount because it's big, literally. Like, I mean, and I guess that's how it's supposed to work, right? Like your mental state literally will dictate like your perspective on the rest of the world, right? But I just, mine is just, I think, and I don't know, like I've only ever experienced living in my own body. I've only ever experienced being Fikayo. But I don't know, like just genuinely life scares me. Life really, really, really does scare me. How real things can become very, very real. I have lived a life where I've had regrets and I hate having regrets, especially when it comes to regrets based off of your performance. Like, oh, I wish I would have worked harder. I hate when I have those personal regrets because it's like, if only I had known, I should have just worked fucking harder, right? Like, I should have just put the pedal to the metal. I should have just done what I was supposed to do. Like, why did I not do that? Why did I waste that time? You know? I'm about to sneeze again. Hold on. Okay. But yeah, I just, I don't know. I'm scared. I really am. I don't know if I will still try to implement this 75 hard for Fikayo. And I probably will. I probably will. Because like things are turning up anyway. Like the heat is being turned up anyway. I might as well just turn up everything. But I don't want to exhaust myself because that's what happens. Like I will do that and then I get burnt out. And I hate that saying burnt out because I'm not even sure. And see, this is why it's really like it's a war front in my head. Because you see what I'm saying? Like I was just about to tell you that I'm not sure burnt out is really a thing. And that's what I'll tell myself until I get to the point where I'm just genuinely exhausted. Because again, I'm running from this lazy label. I'm running from this lazy title. I'm scared. I'm scared, you know? So everything that is contrary to like work hard now, you know, grind now, I see as the lazy excuse. And it's hard. It's hard. It really is hard. Constantly fighting, constantly battling myself. I was like, it's snowing right now. We got a few inches of snow. I'm like, should I go to the gym? Should I run outside? What would David Goggins say? Like, he would tell me I should go run, you know? And I'm not like this, which is very interesting. I've always been a softer girl. Always been a softer babe. I've always been. And sometimes that was like softer also in my aesthetic, like softer in what I wanted to do. Like I did a lot of poetry. Like I used to write a lot of poetry. Also, though, at the same time, my ambitions were way less than what they are now. I just didn't want to do anything really. And then, you know, I felt how hot life can get. And that scared the hell out of me. And it told me that I couldn't just live like that, which is very interesting also because it isn't necessarily that I couldn't live like that, right? But it like in the circumstances that it had just put me in, living like that had put me in, I realized that I couldn't live like that in that moment. But I wonder if like aside from that moment, if that lifestyle was still able to be sustained. At this point now, there's no going back fully. I can only just adopt things from that old lifestyle that I used to have. Not anymore can I live like that because I don't want to anymore, to be honest. I like this person that I am. I like having things to show. I like saying that I have a podcast. I like saying I have a website. These things mean a lot to me. I like the fact that I can do this, when I can come here and I can just talk and get the things on my mind out. I love that I can do that. But I don't know. It really is hard. It really, really is hard. And that's why I always make an ode to young adults who are really trying right now. And I'm not talking about like trying to get it through the day. Cause I guess that's a big accomplishment as well. Trying to just get through the day, but that's not necessarily my story. So I cannot like speak to that rhetoric because it's just not the life I'm living. Like I'm not living to get through the day. Like I still live with my parents, you know? So like that type of fire is not one that I can speak to because I'm not going through that technically, but just I really speak to people who are dealing with self mostly because I mean that's my biggest battle. Myself, my mind, trying to understand things trying to rationalize things, trying to justify things, trying to justify myself, trying to be able to pave a path in which I believe is conducive for me to live. I do not believe that there is any one specific path for anyone. I really believe that you have to beat your own path. Literally, you have to beat it into the floor. Like, you have to walk your own path. I don't believe that. I believe religion kind of tells you how to do it, but it doesn't give you necessarily the path to beat on. I don't think religion is, anyway, that's a different conversation, but I think religion's supposed to guide you and give you the morals and the ethics and blah, 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 but nothing ever gives you, your own path. You have to literally just find it out, and this is what this podcast is doing for me. It's helping me find my own path. But yeah, I'm about to put this podcast out. I'm not sure if it made sense, but it was really nice to be able to word vomit. It's really nice to be able to get my thoughts out there. It's really nice to be able to talk. But yeah, I think I'm done. I'm gonna go continue to be sick. Like, this is just, I'm so over it. I have been sick. Even in Nigeria, I was sick. Even in Nigeria, I was sick. It's so annoying. But yeah. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all. I love you so much. Have a beautiful day and an amazing week. DM me if you need anything, like always. And I love you. I really do. Bye.